Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and we are going to be talking about Carbonite circuit boards today. This is Carbonite circuit board farming for dummies. We are going to be going through looking at Carbonite circuit boards in detail. We're going to be using my Relic farming guide that I put together, kind of taking that but going a little bit deeper, particularly just with the Carbonite circuit board piece, which is one of the more challenging Relic pieces to obtain because unlike a lot of other pieces, again, there's no gimmick. There's no, alright, you farm this specific node, this specific gear piece, and it's the best. That doesn't really exist for this piece. So we're going to kind of talk all about it, give you guys the best information possible. The spreadsheet that I will be using today is linked in the description below, along with a link to our Discord server. Go check it out. Let's give a huge shout out to the channel members again for all their continued support. If you guys are ever interested, link below, along with a link to Discord. Really appreciate all you folks just keeping the faith, believing in me through good, bad, thick, thin. Y'all are the best, and I really can't thank you enough for everything you do. So let's get in here and let's talk about Carbonite circuit boards. Now, Carbonite circuit boards, I think a lot of players will tell you, oh yeah, I know how to get Carbonite circuit boards. But if you ask them how many they have, you quickly come to realize that they don't have a good understanding of where they're actually coming from and how to get them. So here is the comprehensive Relic farming guide. We're going to move the fat face. We're going to lock that. Whoops. That's not what I want to do. I want to move. Can you move just the whole thing, Phil? There you go. Good job, buddy. That's it. There we go. All right, we're up here. All right, guys. So the first thing we want to be doing here. So popular salvage, again, we're going to work left and then we'll go over to the right here to talk about the pack. So what I personally do with the popular salvage here, I personally keep 100 pieces minimum of salvage on hand at all times, right? That's just the way I like to look at it. 100 pieces at all times. But once a piece reaches 150, I'll scrap 50 into Carbonite circuit board. So just to kind of demonstrate that for you. Right, and again, I know my face is over here, which is going to cause all sorts of problems, but hey, it is what it is. So, with, say, and of course, you know, got to move the fat face here. Oops, gosh, screwing this all up, man. I hate when I do this to myself. There we go. Okay, so what I was trying to show is, if I select, say, 50 of these, I'm not going to go, like, I have 120, so I could do 20 more, but I just won't scrap anything that's below 150. So see this piece right here? I'm not going to touch this because it's not above 150 yet. I'll wait till it hits 150 and then I'll scrap it. Because one of the common mistakes players make is they will scrap these things. They'll just be like, yep, I'm just going to scrap this, scrap this, scrap this, scrap this. And then they get to a character and they don't have any more of the piece that they need because they've scrapped them all into Carbonite circuit boards. So I stick to the bare minimum 100 at all times, but I wait to hit 150 before I actually do any scrapping. I think that's, you know, just best case scenario. I think that is the way that I've gone about doing this. So we'll go ahead, convert those just, you know, for the sake of the video, right? So back to the comprehensive Relic farming guide. So that's the way that I do that. Again, that's just the threshold I've created for myself. It works really well. And that's just for these pieces up here. I should note that there are some lower salvage pieces. And I think the way I would word this, if we go back to the game again real quick, the lower salvage down here, these are just so crazy. Like, if I scrap 3,000 of these, I get 87. Just not worth it. I shouldn't say it's not worth it. It's not, you're not going to ever get enough of these pieces where I would try to focus on farming them to scrap for Carbonite circuit boards. These, every once in a while, are worth a clean out, but there's nothing significant that's ever going to come from them, right? You're looking at just these pieces up here primarily. So, wanted to, you know, make sure we share that. So, back to the screen capture here. Back to our spreadsheet. So, everybody loves to talk about the, you know, light side 1D. Light side 1D is the best. Light side 1D, that's where we get Carbonite circuit boards. Light side 1D can be a very good, quick way to get Carbonite circuit boards. But the con here is there's no other value to farming. There is nothing else on this node outside of Carbonite circuit boards, right? There's no other value here. This, in my opinion, is an emergency only situation. This is not a long-term solution. You long-term should not be trying to only farm things, your Carbonite circuit boards on light side 1D. It's not feasible long-term. If you don't have a lot of bonus crystal income, this can be a decent option. If you're someone where you kind of spend all your crystals, you don't have a lot of leftover stuff, fine, this can be a decent option. But once you start getting some bonus crystals, don't worry about this with Carbonite circuit boards. Now, what I did is I went and I developed a break-even point. So to explain this math, what we did is we did 35, which if you kind of scroll over this way, you see you need 35 points to accumulate a full Carbonite circuit board piece there. So you need 35 points. Then you're going to do 50 divided by 5. What we're really getting at there is that I spent 50 crystals on my energy refresh, right? I spent 50 crystals on an energy refresh, whereas a regular Carbonite circuit board piece has a cost of 5. That 900 divided by 180 is 5 crystals per piece. So I'm basically getting down to, hey, on this 50 crystals, I need to get enough salvage to make up for 10 Carbonite circuit boards to break even. We're then dividing by 3, which is just the amount, again, if you guys kind of look over here, that's the amount of, that your scrap is worth on that node. Those scrapping pieces, those pieces are worth 3 points towards a Carbonite circuit board. So your break even point is 116.67 salvage. Again, that comes from there's a total of 12 potential salvage on light side 1D, which means you need a 48% drop rate. You're taking the amount of break even that you need divided by the 120 energy you spent against a 6 energy node or 20 battles, then divided by the 12 total salvage on there. You need roughly 48%, which honestly is not that bad. That's a pretty reasonable for when I farmed those. I definitely am doing more than the 50 crystals like that. I'm getting more than 116 salvage. So like this is again, it's a quick way. It's just there's no other value to your farming. You notice I say that, it's not a long-term solution because there's no other value, but it doesn't mean that it's not worth it from a crystal perspective. You are going to do better than crystals here. Now, that's where we're going to stop for a second, come back up here to what I call the best pack ever. So with these relic packs, what I want to talk about here is the pro here. The way I always analyze these is I kind of look at it like this. You have a 60% chance to earn more than farming light side 1D. Fastest way to get a lot of Carbonite circuit boards. Meaning, at the bare minimum of this pack is 5 crystals per piece. You're gonna get 100 crystal. You're gonna get 100 pieces. Spend 500. That's 0 savings, right? Carbonite circuit boards are 5 crystals per piece, so you didn't save anything if you get the 100. You may as well just bought shipments. If you happen to get anything above that bottom tier, you're starting to save some crystals based on the shipment cost of, depending how many, Carbonite circuit boards you were to obtain. Now, the way I have highlighted here, what I have is that 65% chance to earn more than farming light side 1D. I'm saying that, hey, it's pretty easy to break even farming light side 1D. In fact, you'll probably do better than breaking even. So you've got to at least get the 150 or more on this pack before you should have just spent your time farming light side 1D, right? That's, again, just the crystal math for me. So I say a 65% chance, meaning if you buy this pack 3 times, you get you have a better chance of getting 150 2 times and 100, or 150, 200, you know what I mean? Like your chances are pretty good that you're going to get a better return on this than not. Again, you've got to require saving your bonus crystals for when it pops up. And again, if you don't have really any other value with your crystals. Again, I recommend that once you start earning bonus crystals, start saving. It's a supplemental source, not primary. Meaning your primary source of Carbonite circuit boards should not be these packs. because again, you're saving, it's a lot of crystals to be spending at once, right? The biggest thing I tell players is that the pack value is in time savings and what it allows you to do with your energy instead of farming light side 1D. And again, the break-even point is 150. So basically, if I get 150, I felt I broke even. If I get 200, I did better. If I get the 100, I feel cheated. I think if you kind of hold to that standard, this pack is, you know, again, pretty solid because of the time savings it's going to give you because these things are such a pain to farm. Now, there's also some available on these fleet nodes. Fleet node 3C, fleet node 2E. The computer piece here and the little data pad piece here are both available to scrap for Carbonite circuit boards, as you guys can see over here. Now, this is obviously dependent on you farming these nodes, but it's not that challenging. And if you were able to get 40 salvage per day, which sounds like a lot, but 40 salvage is not that much. 40 salvage a day, that is 3.43 Carbonite circuit boards a day. Which again, that math is the 40 salvage multiplied by 3 points divided by the 35 that you need for a full piece. You're going to get roughly 3.43 Carbonite, value of Carbonite circuit boards. Comes out to 1,250 Carbonite circuit boards a year. Now, that's not breaking any records, but that's just from ancillary farming. That's getting the gear that you need on the furnaces, the HoloLenses. Like, you're not farming these for the Carbonite circuit boards. You're farming them because they've got the gear piece you need, so I won't have to buy this piece and this piece. With my raid currency, I can use those on other things, and I'm also getting Carbonite circuit boards along the way, killing two birds with one stone. This is, in my opinion, the best long-term solution to the problem. Farm these pieces for Gear 13 only. This is a great way. This is how I really overcame the bottleneck, was by hammering these fleet nodes, right? Also, bear in mind, there's a lot of hard nodes that you can farm in the game where you can earn those Carbonite circuit boards as well. You can earn salvage towards there. So if you're farming a lot of hard nodes, you're also going to be earning this resource. Now, there's other ways to get salvage. You can get them in the guild activity store. These pieces can be turned in for Carbonite circuit boards. There are pieces that you can also get in the squad arena store to be turned into Carbonite circuit boards. And if you got 30 salvage from these various areas every single day, that's 2.5 Carbonite circuit boards a day, another 900 over the course of a year. Just from a little bit of purchasing in a day. It's not like it's crazy. Again, another 30 salvage, that's not hard to pull off, right? So, in my, the way I look at these things is that it's not about, like I said, the best ways is this, right? Because the other thing you've got to consider is it's in this, I call it in the group of death by numbers. You're going to get these from guild events, right? Currencies, you're not going to spend your currency on them, but it's available in guild events. You're going to get Carbonite circuit boards and assault battles. You're going to get them from Scavenger, the Conquest. There's a lot of different areas that you're going to get Carbonite circuit boards that they get pretty easy to obtain. And just to show you the math a little bit here, it takes 200 total Carbonite circuit boards to go from Relic 0 to Relic 9, with the majority of those Carbonite circuit boards being front-loaded, meaning by the time you've done a Relic 3 character, you have spent you've spent half of the total Carbonite circuit boards for that character once they're at Relic 3. So that can give you some comfort that if you've done a bunch of low relics recently and you feel like you're running out of Carbonite circuit boards, you're halfway done. It's not like you have that many more to go. You still have a lot to go, but it's not like it's, a crazy amount. That was a change that CG made a couple years ago where they removed them from Relic 8 and Relic 9. But just to kind of go back into the game here and kind of reset my, reset the webcam here. Let's get all this kind of back to where it belongs. And of course it's all messed up because I'm an idiot and I didn't do this right. Come on. I think that's right. That looks okay. I'll have to get my glasses back on to fix that. But anyway, so with all that said, and kind of, in conclusion, like I said, there's no gimmick here. There's no little trick with these things. It's just about being consistent. It's about doing these things every single day. There's even some hard nodes that you can earn these resources on. If you look at Kylo Ren Unmasked, Dark Trooper, Snips, Scavenger Ray, you go to Hera's ship, that node has them. Oppo's node, Moff Gideon, what is this? This is BT1. I never remember his name. First Order Stormtrooper, Ewok Scout. There's plenty of nodes that have salvage for Carbonite circuit boards. And you can just go in sometimes and look, okay, where could I get, say, this piece from? So I'm going to go find it, and okay, it's only available in there. Then there's definitely some pieces like that where it's like there's not a lot of available places. But like here, look at all these areas. CX2. CX2 has a bunch of Carbonite circuit board salvage. So if you're farming your CX2 for the raid, you're earning Carbonite circuit board salvage. This is one of those areas I tell a lot of players that whenever you see Arnold low in relic materials and you wonder why, this is one of the big reasons. He's not farming these hard nodes. He's not getting all of those shards that a normal player is getting from spending their time farming a node. And because he's not farming those nodes, he's not earning, Carbonite circuit board salvage. Just think, for the sake of argument, right? You're getting a 6 potential salvage, right? Say 6 potential salvage here. And I'm going to pull up the calculator for this because I want to really, drive this home. So here's the calculator, and we're going to move it over here, just, on the CX2 node. So there's 6 potential salvage here, right? So 6 salvage. Now, let's assume that we're going to have to do, they give you 2, let's just say you have to get, let's say you get them to 4-star, just for the sake of argument. You get a 4-star CX2. That is, so we have, let's get rid of the 6 here for a second. That's 330 shards minus 80. You have 250 shards to go. There's 6 potential salvage on that node, which is 1,500 total salvage for you. Now, let's assume a 50% drop rate. Right, so let's just divide that by 2. That's 750 salvage. Right, so you get 750 salvage from all the shards you're going to get from farming CX2. 750 salvage. Well, let's take that 750 salvage, and we're going to go to our, scavenger here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's 500, 550, 600, 700, 750. Right there, over the course of CX2, was 60 Carbonite circuit boards. Now, again, you might not think, oh, Phil, that's not a lot, but that's one character. So now let's add that to however many characters you're farming, and then add that to how many you've done throughout the year. All of a sudden, like I said, you're getting a lot of extra resources without having to do a lot of, jumping through all these extra hoops. So I hope this helps you guys. I really hope that this kind of drives home Carbonite circuit boards and how I try to get them. That primarily what I think the best method is just trying to farm the nodes that they're on that also offer other resources, rather than just trying to pay attention to light side 1D. Right, I think light side 1D is just, there's no other value here. There's nothing else you're getting on this node, whereas those other nodes, you're getting some additional benefit, and you do get that pack. That pack can very much be a good purchase for you. It can save you a lot of time until you're in a position where you can start obtaining a lot of these Carbonite circuit boards. So that's the end of the video, folks. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I love you all. May the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends. Ugh.